Hello and welcome to DarkMouse's Daily Scroll with myself, DarkMouse.
And me, Thef. What up, people?
Hello there. Today we're trying something a little bit different. The deck you see in my hand is not the deck that I'm used to using. This is the Gravelock deck. The vaunted deck that I have spent the past 40 odd episodes mentioning in hints and drabs every now and then and never actually saying when it might be actually ready to be used. It's still not ready to be used, but it's in a better state than it has been.
We're giving it a bit of a premiere today. We're playing a quick match against a very talkative player, actually, called Zoom.
Yep.
Can do really good sport, very chilled out, very happy player.
Oh, yes.
And, yeah, let's see where we go.
So I'm first of all going to get rid of the Metal Wonder, Shock Horror, and play down the Gravelock Raider, which is a very weak creature for one resource, but he's relentless. Relentless, I hear you say, but he's only got one attack. Wait till I get the Gravelock Elder out.
Yay.
Because Gravelock Elders have this brilliant little ability that gives other Gravelocks +1/+1 for every Elder you have in play, including the Elder, which is very nice.
So they literally buff each other a hell of a lot.
Yeah, kind of like the Slib premise. Now I have the Tribal Memorial out, which immediately, next turn, will allow me to play down Eye of Eagle. Now the Memorials are interesting, because I only realised the other day that if I play them down, I wouldn't actually get the resource type at that particular point. It would just give me an extra capacity for it without actually giving me the resource, which is interesting. Obviously, it stopped people from doing what I was going to do, which was playing down the Tribal Memorial, then following it straight up with the Eye of Eagle. Because that's a bit of a dick move.
A little bit, yeah. Hey, it works, but it is a dick move.
So that.
Yeah.
I play against an energy player. Did I forget to mention that?
So your first deck is cutting its teeth. Well, your Gravelock's first play is cutting its teeth against an energy player.
Yeah, which
That's going to be painful.
Oh yes. So here now I have the Gravelock Raider out, which is amazing. Gravelock Outcast, sorry. The Gravelock Outcast is probably my favourite Gravelock in the entire set. More so than the Gravelock Elder. It's only 2/3 for 3 resources, but you can pay 1 growth to heal it completely.
Jeez.
Which means things like Ember Bonds, things like Poison, unless your opponent can pull off a lot of damage all at once, that Outcast is going to live.
Mm-hmm.
Which I quite enjoy.
Unless they get stomped by a Solemn Giant or something similar.
If they do, then if you can buff them up high enough, because the card I just sacked for Decay there was the Golem skin.
Yeah.
Now, this deck ideally will have quite a few structures in it to support the Gravelocks. Yeah. Things like the Metal Wonders, things like Useless Contraptions and Tribal Memorials, and Sandpack Memorials.
Yeah.
Now, I've also got Unbinding here, which takes those away. But if I play down Golem skin, then all those structures go away, and it gets that back as health and toughness, which for Gravelock Outcast makes it particularly potent.
Yeah. Now,
here we can see the Gravelock Outcast with the Ember Bonds on it. And what I can do, in my turn, is heal it back to full. If I'm not using the growth for anything else, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So they've put Ember Bonds on that thing. That's not going to make a sod bit of difference. Because I can keep that Gravelock Outcast alive for as long as the hell I like.
Nice.
Which I'm quite impressed with. Now he's got a Tool Initiative out. Now I think I'm playing against someone who... There we go. Got rid of the infected Gravelock, expecting my Gravelock to die before it can attack. Bad choice. Very bad choice. Yep, another Outcast and uses a contraption. Nice. So let's put down the Outcast, because 2 of those is always nice. And move that guy back first. For Gravelocks, I find it particularly useful if you can just keep that front line going. I had growth left over, I healed him to full.
Yeah.
Which now Zoom is probably looking at and going,
what a fook.
Bloody hell, shit, yeah. Damn it. Ember Bonds will not kill him unless you put 2 sets of Ember Bonds on him. 2 sets will cause 4 damage overall.
It's possible.
Indeed, which will kill it.
But a waste of Ember Bonds, so... Yeah.
It depends on how, desperate you are to kill that thing off.
Yeah.
And another infected Gravelock and 2 Gravelock Elders. This deck was amazingly well shuffled, apparently. Jeez. So there's the Gravelock Outcast attacking for another time, and it really shouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Hehe.
Should be dead by now.
Should be, but it's not. I really enjoy the Gravelocks Outcast. Now, What do you reckon of the Gravelocks that you've seen so far?
They're not something that I've seen much played of. This being the first time I've really encountered them much as a concentrated group of them, as opposed to just seeing one or two here and there. They certainly offer a different style of play. They're fairly cheap relative to what you'd normally be playing.
Yes.
Which, well, for energy cards anyway.
Oh yes.
Obviously, they benefit from a lot of different strategies. You can do a lot of different stuff with them and have it work incredibly well. I don't know. I will see how the rest of this game goes because I didn't actually watch this one played. So
That's fair enough. Ooh, Destroyer. Now, I think the guy I'm playing against is heavy structure energy. Now, why he's put the Destroyer there is interesting to me because, it's not actually going to hit anything at all. It hits the 3 squares at the bottom left. That's it.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah. I suppose they're trying to, it's area denial.
Yeah.
But I, for one, would have moved it a little bit further up so I can area deny the centre rather than just that one edge, because now I can focus up top.
Theoretically, it's not the worst play in the world because it does legitimately mean that you cannot guard that idol.
It's true. It's not the worst play in the world, it's just a very interesting one.
Yeah.
And it's not one that I personally would have pulled off. And here's a Gravelock Elder. I got rid of a Gravehawk to do it, but here's a Gravelock Elder. And everything goes up. So now, that guy's doing 3 damage rather than 2.
Cool.
And so's that Gravelock, infected Gravelock, which is quite nice. I like his comment there. There's Daddy. I was like, yeah, there he is indeed. Just you wait one more turn, I'll have another one. Lol.
Yeah, it's nice to occasionally play against a player who's got that kind of running commentary going, who isn't afraid to make a few jokes and quips and stuff. Because I don't know, it's very hard to gauge your opponent quite often. And
Yep.
If you say something and they respond badly to it, it can be very embarrassing.
Oh yeah.
Even with that barrier of the screen there and you guys not knowing each other.
So now I love another comment this guy made was, I love this card. Then he valiantly dispersed my first Elder. Sod. Absolute sod.
Yeah, to be fair, it's nice to get that feedback, and it does honestly lessen the blow of a move like that being pulled. When somebody is making that kind of joke about it, being friendly with it, kind of like I do when I play Planar Cleansing in Magic, and everything goes away.
Oh, by the way, guys, you're going to despise what I'm about to do next. Play the cleansing. Nope. Negate. That'd be amazing.
Planar Cleansing.
Negate.
Planar Cleansing.
Negate.
Planar Cleansing.
Or another Mana Leak.
Day of Judgment.
Mana Leak. Because you would run out of mana before a blue player would.
Technically, yes. But it is always fun to watch someone very smugly negates your card.
Yeah.
And then you just play the exact same card again.
Oh, yes.
Or play Day of Judgment, then, negate. Oh, by the way, Planar Cleansing!
That's ridiculous. They've just done another violent dispersal trick. My god. Oh, look, I have Searing Shackles. So,
Yay.
let's get rid of that for growth, because I can play Gravehawk, and Gravehawks are also relentless. Now, they don't increase their health for every Gravelock on the field, just their attack, which is interesting.
That is useful.
And now I'm going to Searing Shackles that Destroyer. You can't move it, and I've got no intention of killing it. Good luck. And that idol is very nearly dead.
So, 2 for 0 right now.
No, just 1 for 0.
Well, very nearly 2 for 0.
Very
based
nearly,
on
yeah.
That health, and, admittedly one of your idols has taken a reasonable pounding there, but not enough to be worried about, I'd say, right now.
Not really, no. Now, the energy player I'm against here has 7 energy at this point, which is a good number to be at. Not as good as 10, but still a good number, particularly if you want to play that.
That's an Iron Ogre right there.
Yep, that's an Iron Ogre, and that is probably one of the best protections energy has against an idol. Against the creatures assaulting it for idol, other than a turn of prox mines.
Well, they're solid as fuck. They've got 3-turn cooldown and 7 attack. That's... The only thing better than them would be the Solemn Giant, but you need to be able to back that up with the resource to make it kick out first turn.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to be dead by the end of your next turn.
Yeah, because it only has 4 health. Now this is where I've got to worry a little bit because I have to be able to kill that before my opponent can cut it down. Not just burn off his tool initiate because we don't like his tool initiate.
Burn the tool initiate.
Well, the only thing it can do is either attack the idol or increase the attack power of a structure by 1. In which case, the tool initiative, because of the way it works, if you do that, then its cooldown increases by 1, which means that you can do that every single turn.
Yeah.
And if you then want to redesign your structure, it gets the lower attack with a brilliantly high defense.
Nice.
It's a really good way of doing it, and if you could apply that to automatons as well, I would have a tool initiate and redesign my deck.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Metal Wonder!
Holy shit.
I've never actually played against one of
I
those.
was going to say, it's rare to see one of those out on the opposing side.
Yeah, it's really actually quite strange to see one out on the opposing side.
Well, they're still quite rare from what I've seen playing games. There's very few of them kind of in circulation right now.
Yes, most definitely. Here's me going to be doing a lot of damage all at once. I mean, yeah, they don't. You're right, they are not in a lot of circulation. Which, well, they are. They're just rare. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh look, incendiaries. Guess what I can do? 3 damage to all structures, and it still keeps that destroyer alive. It does 2 damage to an idol of mine, but now look what happens when my Gravelocks come off cooldown.
Everything gets hit quite hard. Now that Iron Ogre's in quite the bad position now.
Yep. It's only got 1 health, and it's got 1 turn left before it comes off cooldown.
I would say that if it was coming off cooldown this turn, your Gravelocks there would be a bit fucked.
My entire battle line would be dead,
Yeah.
quite honestly.
But as it stands right now, you're pretty well off, relatively.
I'm very well off right now. I'll be very honest. I got very lucky with my set card draws against theirs.
Yeah.
Particularly when it came to incendiaries.
Yeah.
Because incendiaries against an energy deck is amazing. Ow. Well, that was painful.
Yeah. Thunder Surge always is.
Particularly against Gravelock decks like that. Oh, it's so... Ow. Jeez. Right, okay. So... Okay, fair enough. Right, so I've got a Gravelock that can attack and kill off his Iron Ogre now. Let's put down a Metal Wonder just to be pissy. Quite honestly. And let's regenerate him, just to show he can. So, bye-bye Iron Ogre. We hardly knew ye.
Ow.
And that is why, if you play your Gravelocks well, and this deck is by no means finished, by the way, just to point that out, but that Iron Ogre could have spelled the absolute doom for me.
Yeah.
And unless I can manage to kill creatures off, and the idols behind them, in one go, this guy, because he's been so long through his creature pool, is going to be able to throw creature upon creature upon creature down, and that is really quite nasty.
So
That,
quite a
however,
dispersal there.
yep. The word here is lol. Why he put GG down is beyond me. I think it's possible he misread the idols and thought he had 1 less than he did.
Possibly.
But in 6 turns, it's going to be GG regardless.
Yeah.
Because I got serious shackles on the one at the bottom. So now he's got to really either get rid of his own destroyer, which all it takes is a spark or incendiaries.
Yeah.
Actually, incendiaries won't do it. Spark or tick bomb.
Yeah.
Or burn. A burn would be better. You waste 2 damage on it, but you get a card out of it.
Yeah. To be honest, that's a fair trade-off at this point.
Now I'm actually wondering what 6 cards they have in their hand. Because at the moment, all we've seen is a Destroyer, a Tool Initiate, an Iron Ogre, a Metal Wonder and Automated Forge, and quite a few removal spells.
Yeah.
Which is generally the way it only goes for me. Oh, there we go, Scattergun. So it seems like all the creatures of this deck have been pushed to the back, ready for late game play.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you reckon? Is that a better way to have your deck shuffled, or is that a worse way to have it shuffled?
It depends on your playstyle, because personally, there's obviously an optimal way you want your cards to come out. You want response cards, as I call them, like the Violent Dispersal, like Burn, that kind of thing. You want a steady flow of them throughout the game.
Yeah.
You know, same as in Magic, you'd want things like Negate and Cancel, that kind of thing, as a steady flow, as opposed to all in your hand all at once and having to sack them, you know, early game. I'd say that heavier hitting creatures coming out later in the game, so you don't have to sack them for resources at the start, would be useful. But obviously, if you're going to cycle through your deck quickly, sacking them at the start when you're not going to need them having them come back late game when you will need them is bloody useful, relatively.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would agree with that generally. Because at this point, I think that's what they've seen. Now, unless they've had to sack a couple of Iron Ogres at the beginning of the game, they have been, particularly interesting. Oh, there we go, look. Unbind and Sandpath Memorial.
Nice.
So, what I'll do is, I will just place the Sandpath Memorial down, then unbind it.
Increase your decay by 1.
And my energy by 1.
Nice.
And still do damage to my opponent's idols. Quite lucky on that regard, I think. And I do need a few more, another unbind at least in my deck.
Yeah.
As well as a few more case rolls that get me different things.
Oh.
Like Energy Siphon.
There's a humping catapult right there.
Indeed there is. And an Ember Bonds on my Gravehawk, which means it's going to die.
Oh.
Horribly. Because it's only got 1 health left.
Yeah, the catapult of goo is, well, just genuinely hilarious in my opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't...
it just sits there humping the ground, not doing much.
Which is unfortunate for it. In all fairness, it does have a particularly cool passive ability. Every time its ball of goo hits, it increases the countdown of anything it hits by 1.
Nice. Well, I guess being covered with goo would make you reconsider how soon you are going to attack.
Yep. Which I personally think is quite cool. Now here we go, let's just unbind that as well. Because why the hell not? It also lets me do this, and just move everything around. At this point, the Infected Gravelock is just a defensive structure. Doesn't have a lot else left to do, really.
Yeah.
Because it can't move. That's the thing. Infected Gravelocks cannot move. Which is a kind of a bugger. I'll be honest. Now, I don't want the Thunder Surge here. Because if I Thunder Surge, I also lose the Searing Shackles and that Destroyer down there. I don't want that. Dead Gravehawk, which is annoying.
It's a bit everywhere now.
A bit so, yeah. Emma Bond's just kind of constricted and sliced it into pieces.
Yeah.
Which would be cool to see, but no, it just puffs out of existence.
Speaking of that, some of the death descriptions in Terraria are fucked up.
They're amazing.
It's just like, Thef watched his innards become his outards as a result of a blue slime. It's like, dear God, that's graphic for what is essentially quite a cute kids game.
But yeah, but I like the one. It was never slated as a kid game.
No, true, but it's surprising in that regard because it feels quite cutesy, quite, yes, there's some quite dark stuff in it when just from looking at the visuals, but it still seems like quite the cute game. And then something like that happens, you're just like, that's pretty out the fucking left field, That's.
I personally love it. I absolutely adore
have
it.
Nothing against it. It was just kind of that shock moment of, hang on, what?
I love the particular the thing it describes when it's that was a good risk there. 1 in 3 chance of losing the game, and he played a Metal Heart anyway. I love the description you get when you fall from a great height and die. Dark Death didn't bounce, which I personally think is amazing. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh sweet, Return to Nature. And I can't use it because I don't want to get rid of the Destroyer. Oh well. So let's just get rid of it for more stuff. Because I use Burn to get rid of the Gun Automaton. Oh sweet, Golem Skin and Infectious Blight. And I can use them both.
Nice.
Now this is the thing I love about multi-resource type decks, is that you can just use multiple spells for the multiple resources you have.
Yeah.
Late game, you can play like 5 or 6 spells all at once. There we go. That guy now does enough damage to not quite kill it off.
Nearly.
Nearly, but at the end of their turn they lose anyway.
Yeah.
Unless they can get rid of the Destroyer there. I'm actually quite surprised that it's the Searing Shackles that won me this one. In a deck that's mainly energy, sorry.
Yeah, but it's the little things that can win. I played a game not too long ago, 40k against Mataspore, and we've got this amazing melee going with a load of witches, some Dire Avengers, an Avenger Autarch, and then Fire Warriors countercharge the witches. It was a single lowly Fire Warrior that finished off the final witch by stabbing her in the neck with a bonding knife.
Sweet, fair enough.
So it's, in any game, never underestimate the small stuff for what's going on.
Indeed. There we go. That's 3 idols. They did take out 2 of my idols in the last ditch effort, and that was really good, I think.
That's impressive, actually, yeah.
Zoom was a good player, and really put up a good fight there.
Yeah, hats
Quite
off
intrigued.
to an impressively played game, actually.
Oh yeah, that's for Gravelocks' inaugural game. That's really good, and you'll probably see more of the Gravelocks as we go through. So the next deck to use will probably be the Decaying Souls, then Ultimate the Titans version 2, then Gravelocks again. So this time I'm bringing 3 decks in the mix for you guys to see. Hopefully, it makes it more interesting for you. And when my next deck is what I feel to a good level, a decent level of being able to be used in competitive play, I will use it.
So it's going to get even more complex working through stuff.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes.
That's a Ducal Spearman.
Sweet.
They are pretty fucking useful, actually.
Indeed. That's all we got time for, guys. Do the usual social stuff. I'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.